fucking goddamn people out here trying to piss me the fuck off. Oh yeah, we're reviewing a children's movie.
It's Drewski and Friends Toy Story 4 movie review.
It's a story about some toys that come to life for a little boy.
Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy, and I got Maximus, the Secretary, and the Mermaid, and we just came out of Toy Story 4, and we're going to do our best to try to give you a review and our thoughts on the movie without all the noise pollution in the background just ruining everything. So right off the bat, Sarah has not seen the third Toy Story.
Boo! Didn't want to.
There's something about, she doesn't like children's movies because she was never a child.
Nope.
Born grown.
I was born grown.
Me, on the other hand,
me.
I mean, how old I was like 12. I was already sort of grown up, probably too old to be playing with toys when the first Toy Story came out, yet I still played with toys, and I absolutely love the first one. I've always loved the first one.
I took my son to see the first one.
Now, the second one, we'll talk about that one of these days when we review them. And then there's the third one, which I thought was great. It was a great end to the trilogy. Then they're like, fuck you, we're going to make another one. So they made this other one, and everybody keeps saying, oh, it felt unnecessary, but it's great.
You just took my talking point.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Max.
Well, I was saying Toy Story 3 ended in a way that completed a loop. You know, you have a kid, the kid grows up, you go to another kid. That is the best case scenario for a toy. That's what you want to have happen. And they should have just left it at that.
So
there was no need for anything else.
See, that's why I'm not the biggest fan of the second movie. It just kind of felt like a filler and look at a series.
Well, with the second one, you dove really deep into Woody's backstory.
What about Buzz's backstory?
Buzz's backstory was explained in the first
Oh,
one.
okay, good. Okay.
And he had an animated
Just being
series.
facetious. There was an animated series?
Yeah, it was on the Disney Channel.
Oh my
we didn't-
God.
we didn't-
Yeah, where he
Well,
was an
me
actual
and-
space ranger.
Me and Max were like kids when the 90s were, yeah.
I was
the
8.
90s was happening.
Yeah. I keep forgetting.
I had a
I
Buzz
didn't have
Lightyear.
cable.
Hang out with a bunch of children because I work at a haunted house and they hire a bunch of children and then we grow old together.
Just like the toys in this movie.
Oh my God, it's like fucking real life. And that's the thing about this movie is there were so many things in it that just hit me because of like the real life, going to kindergarten, that feeling. You're going to kindergarten, you don't know what the hell kindergarten is, but your parents are making you go there and you think they're just taking you somewhere and they're going to leave you there. And it's some scary shit. I still remember, my
He's
first
fake
day of
crying, but he
kindergarten.
actually started tearing up in the theater.
I'm
He
sure
le-
a
he
lot
leaned
of
over.
people.
He's like,
There is
this
a lot of
kindergartner
stuff.
thing is real, man. It's real.
There's a lot of stuff in this movie that was.
There were some sentimental parts. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. I didn't cry,
A
but
lot
I did get misty.
I wasn't crying. I was getting misty-eyed, and then I'd look over at him like, what was the one? Well, first of all, there's a. Are we going to talk about the movie's about?
Sure.
Okay, real quick synopsis. There's these toys, right? And they're in the closet because they're cleaning the room. And the girl's going off to school. She's not allowed to take any toys with her, so she makes this fork. And Woody goes to make sure her
He's a
first
spork.
day, her spork.
But his
Woody goes
name's
to make the
Forky.
first day
Yeah.
goes smoothly. Then he comes back with a spork, who's happens to be suicidal. It's a suicidal spork. So
That's
basically, the
true.
first half of the movie is Woody trying to stop this spork from killing himself because he
Himself
thinks
is
he's trash and
Yeah.
he wants to live in the trash can or just die in the
Wow,
trash. He just
he's like a Gen Zer because he feels like he's trash, and all he wants to do is keep jumping off of stuff and
it's-
die.
it's sad, but it's hilarious at the same time. But anyway, so that's what the movie's about. And then the girl grows attached to the fork, and they're going on vacation, and then they just keep losing the fork. I mean, it's kind of hard to keep track of a fork,
Yeah.
The one that wants to jump in the
Spork.
trash constantly.
But anyway, so the story is about them trying to get this fork reunited with Bonnie, who is the girl from the third one that Andy leaves his toys with. So you got everybody split up in this movie, and then they got to come back together. So there's a lot of stuff going on. But I thought the antique store setting was probably one of the best settings
Of
in the
course.
entire
Of course you would say
Yes.
that.
Because
thrift store.
as much as I hate them, these ventriloquist dummies that were in this store
Yeah,
are
creepy.
terrifying. Yeah.
If anybody's seen Attack on Titan, I think that they were just like
They
the
reminded me
Titans.
of the Goosebumps.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's a
Uh,
good one.
and then the Gabby talks a lot or whatever.
She's
I
supposed
thought,
to be like,
Gabby Gabby.
yeah, Gabby is her name. She's supposed to be like Chatty Cathy.
yeah, but I thought that whole. You've probably already seen the movie, but I still don't want to necessarily spoil anything. But the whole arc with the Gabby, she wants a voice box, but she wants Woody's voice box, and then she turns into the villain of the movie, and then some stuff happens, and then some other things, and I don't want to give it away, so we're just gonna move on.
But you
hold
can't.
on. Hold on.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second. I actually want to talk about. I went to the bathroom real fast, right when they were playing that stupid thing about go get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola Classic and all this shit. So I went to the bathroom real quick, and when I come back in, I thought I walked into the wrong movie because the movie starts out and it's raining and it's showing this
And it's
street,
9 years ago.
and it's 9 years ago. But when I walked in, I didn't see any of the Toy Story toys. I just saw like the houses in the rain, and I was like, "This doesn't look animated. What the fuck am I doing in here?" And I went to leave, and then I heard one of the toys start talking. I was like, "Oh, that sounds familiar. What the fuck? Am I in the right movie or not?"
The
And,
animation was that good.
It was
Yeah.
very
like
nice.
there were scenes where they're in this antique store, and they're down in these crevices where it's like all dusty.
They're back behind the shelves.
and whatnot, and just the attention to detail that went into the little balls of dust is absolutely amazing. Which I was telling him, like, not that they should remake the first Toy Story, but if there was any way they could take the original audio and the original concept of the storyboards and just remake it with this,
Reanimate it.
reanimate it with this high of a quality of whatever.
Digitally remastered.
Yeah,
Look,
There you
I mean, even if
go.
they digitally remastered it, it would have to be
Oh, there went your
completely.
Dust Bunny Tumbleweed.
They would have to
Vintage is
completely recraft the movie, but just use the first. I want the first one to look as good as this one does, because this one looks. It's almost breathtaking.
Well, that is a legit concern because back then they actually had a really hard time doing human faces, and they actually tried to avoid it. That's why you
Speaking
didn't
of
see
human
Andy's face
faces,
that much.
Max has a total boner for the kindergarten teacher.
Miss Wendy, hold on. Miss Wendy had no wedding ring. First of all, I
Yeah,
looked at her.
dad's like, hey,
It
she's
was
not wearing a
Miss
wedding ring. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
you
it was
trying
Miss
to fuck?
Wendy. There was no wedding ring.
Miss Wendy.
And
But
was
no, oh,
she-
by the way, don't let
She's
your kids
on.
watch
She's
this
on
review.
eHarmony.
Was she
I
on the
bet.
security guard at the end because she looked like
It looked like her
like
sister. If it wasn't her.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
Max
Is
is
the
going to come back and watch
security
us
guard
by
and Miss
himself.
Wendy's sisters.
Yes.
I want to propose a fan theory. The Sid in his room in the first one, the
hooker?
the baby doll with
Oh.
the spider legs. I think that's a Gabby head.
That could be.
I'm going to throw that out there. I think the
Could be.
spider toy with the baby doll head is a Gabby head. Actually.
Actually, the
be.
spider
Could be.
doll with the baby head, or the
No,
Yeah.
spider,
Just
whatever
go
the
with
fuck that thing you just said is.
Just go with it.
It's probably my favorite thing in the entire Toy Story universe.
But
Like,
let's address the
I want like a
lack
realistic
of
one those.
continuity in story because Maggie pointed out to me that they said that Bo Peep was sold at a yard sale.
Yeah.
And then in this movie,
they said that she was donated.
she was donated to somebody.
I
So
don't-
that's
So I
lack
thought
of
that was a little
continuity.
weird.
Yeah.
There was something else that like right at the beginning of the movie. I'm like, well, wait a minute, but I can't remember what it was because I was so captivated by this new story, this new adventures that our characters went on, and I fucking loved it. Not to spoil my rating, but yeah, like sure, this movie might have been unnecessary, but does it make it any less better than it is? No.
You
No.
loved Key and Peele.
Oh, and yeah, let's talk about the plushies. These characters, holy shit, there's this scene where they're trying to come up with a plan to get this key because they got to get this key to get into this cabinet. And they're like, oh, we'll get you that key. And then they tell the first plan, and it's absolutely hysterical. And then they sell the second plan, which is basically the same thing as the first plan, but a completely different name. And then the third one is this long, drawn-out story, and they even interrupt them in the middle of the story. It's like, hey, please don't interrupt. And then it's absolutely wonderful. And then it leads to an even better scene at the end, towards the end credits, where, yeah, you'd have to watch the movie. I don't want to talk about it, but I thoroughly enjoyed myself with this movie. A lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought, yeah, this ought to be, you know, a good Toy Story movie, but this might be, I mean, obviously it's not as good as the first one, but it might be.
It was better than I was anticipating. I will admit
Yeah.
that.
I was ready to just fall asleep.
Yeah,
but
I was just, well,
I mean, so
that doesn't
many,
surprise me that you
so
said
many
that.
new and interesting characters. The fact that, like,
Well, you didn't mention the Canadian
yeah,
guy.
why don't you say some stuff? Here, I'll let these two
What was
talk
his
for a
name?
minute.
It was
Duke
Duke
Kaboom.
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 Canada's
Played
greatest
by
stuntman, Keanu
It's
Reeves.
a spoiler though, so
Who's
Everybody
the Canuck
knows
with all
that.
the luck?
Duke Kaboom.
Yeah.
Yes, we Canada.
That
That's
was
his
voiced by
thing.
Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
but yeah, speaking
I
of
think
Bo
everybody
Peep,
knows
like you
that
brought
by
up
now.
Bo
Oh, I
Peep,
pointed out.
uh,
I'm smart.
a lot, or along with like the way this movie looks, like the glossiness to her compared, like obviously they didn't have this much detail they could use in the original, but I just love how she actually looked porcelain. And then the scene where they pull her arm and everybody
Yeah.
screams.
her
and-
arm comes off. Yeah.
And she
and,
keeps
like just the
taping her
way.
arm
Well,
back
hold on,
on.
no, the way that it looked, like that part, because that's what, like the broken arms on all of her.
It was
porcelain
very
looking-
reminiscent to Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas.
He
I
just
Well,
thought.
no, I'm talking about like the.
Well, I know, not the way she looked. I'm saying the whole.
I'm
thing
saying it
with her
looks so
arms
real.
coming
This
off.
whole movie, it just looks so real. Other than the
He's
shape
brought up
of
all the
things,
times
like
that he's broke my porcelain.
Animation was really good. Is the point.
like anything that wasn't
Yes.
supposed to be a person or a toy looked real. Like the trees, the rain, like the beginning of the movie when they're trying to rescue this certain toy, which I'll leave it up to you people that haven't seen it to figure out. But anyway, it just everything looks so real, and it's just insane. Like the vehicles, anything that wasn't like a living tissue
No,
looked real.
I was very pleased with how they handled Mr. Potato Head, because Don Rickles passed away before they could make this particular movie. So his family really wanted them to include him instead of feeling bad and not putting him in. So they actually took old sound clips and put them and used them for his
I was
voice.
just gonna say, because
Yeah, he talked, but Mrs. Potato Head didn't. I thought
Yeah.
that was kind of
I
weird.
think
but-
they did that for Slinky too, like that.
Yeah.
No, Slinky has a totally different voice
I
actor
know, but
now.
like there was a point where he's like, "Body God," and I was like, "No, that's from one of the first two. That's not from the third one." So I think they stole sound bites.
But yeah, this
They might have.
But yeah, the movie is basically, the same kind of stuff you got in the first three, but this one felt like it was on a grander scale, like it was a bigger adventure.
There was a lot of Easter eggs.
Very,
Yeah.
yes, a whole lot. I saw Boo
So-
at least twice.
So what
so
are
look
we?
for them if you're gonna.
Yes.
Are we gonna rate it? Does everybody want to give it their own little
On
personal
what
score?
On what scale?
On a
Scale
1
of
out
1
of
to
10.
10.
On a 1 to 10, I'm going 8.5.
I'd give it a 7, maybe a 6.5.
What?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
that's
That
a-
is ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
a 6.5. that-
Compared to the other ones,
It was
I mean,
way better than Halloween
yeah.
2018.
Well,
Actually,
I haven't
we'll just
seen
say
that
that.
yet.
Wait.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, that's a good thing.
We own it, unfortunately, so you can come watch it.
I'll do 8.5 because the animation
See,
was really
we
good.
know what the fuck we're talking
Animation was
about.
really
The
good.
story was really
It
good.
could have been
You're-
real.
character
I'm not
moments
going
were
by
really
I'm not
good.
going by the animation. I'm going by the
Hold on,
story.
Yeah, but the
I thought the story
wasn't-
was really good.
It was unnecessary, but the
third one
story
was
wasn't that
better.
bad. However, this could have been another Cars 2, and
I didn't
that's
like
what
the
I was.
first Cars,
That's
so
what I
I
was
don't
worried
know
about.
anything about Cars because I
Cars
stopped watching
1
after the
was-
first.
Anyway,
Cars
Sarah,
two.
what do you rate this movie? I'm curious.
I rate this movie as I didn't hate it.
That's like a 4
not
or a 3.
Oh my God! Look, I tried the best I could. Everybody.
I'll
Have
give it
you-
a 5 out of 10.
Hold on, no, no,
I'll
no.
give
That's
it a 5 out of 10.
7. I'm going to 7 because there was no Pixar short. There was no Pixar short at the beginning of this. 7. That's a damn disgrace.
You're all on your fucking own.
Where are you
There
going?
he goes. Puffing off.
5.
But-
A 5.
A 5. And there he goes.
It was no Sleeping Beauty or Black Cauldron.
Hit the If you enjoyed this and want to see more, hit the subscribe button.
Hit the
Hit
like
like and subscribe.
Hit the bell to get more notifications for more craziness like this.
Ah!
Give my shit.